Breaking news. China is facing a series of deepening crises that are triggering concern not only within its borders, but around the globe. From economic instability to growing public unrest, internal crackdowns, and rising geopolitical isolation. Signs point to a nation struggling to contain mounting pressure from all directions. In recent weeks, disturbing signals have emerged from Beijing. China's economy, once considered the engine of global growth, is now experiencing unprecedented slowdown. Major real estate developers have defaulted on debts. Youth unemployment in urban areas has reportedly surged above 21%, and consumer confidence continues to plummet. Despite government efforts to inject stimulus and ease regulations, markets have failed to respond, and foreign investors are pulling back rapidly. One of the biggest red flags came this week when multiple regional banks in China suddenly froze withdrawals without warning, leaving thousands of citizens unable to access their savings. The move sparked public protests in Hunan and other provinces. Footage circulating online showed crowds gathering outside bank branches, chanting slogans and demanding answers, a rare and bold expression of discontent in a tightly controlled society. The Chinese government has responded with heavy censorship. Social media platforms have been scrubbed clean of protest videos, keywords have been blocked, and state media remains silent on the issue. However, international observers and financial analysts are calling it one of the most serious banking confidence crises China has faced in decades. Meanwhile, tensions are rising within the tech sector as well. The Chinese government has intensified its crackdown on technology firms, targeting companies previously hailed as national champions. Tech billionaire Jack Ma, once a symbol of innovation, continues to remain largely absent from public view. Several executives from prominent companies have either resigned or disappeared from the spotlight, raising questions about the government's relationship with private enterprise. Adding to this atmosphere of unease, China has increased surveillance, arrests, and political pressure on dissidents, religious minorities, and human rights activists. Reports suggest that the government has stepped up its control over universities, media, and local NGOs. Analysts say this signals a hardening stance by the central leadership to silence any form of opposition during this period of instability. Geopolitically, China's image is also under stress. Its close ties with Russia amid the ongoing war in Ukraine have drawn criticism and suspicion from Western allies. Meanwhile, tensions in the South China Sea and near Taiwan have escalated dramatically. Chinese fighter jets have crossed the median line in the Taiwan Strait several times this month, prompting strong responses from the United States and Japan. In a new development, foreign embassies in Beijing have reportedly upgraded security protocols, citing concerns over the possibility of public disorder events in the capital and major cities. While these reports remain unconfirmed officially, sources suggest intelligence sharing between Western nations indicates a high alert status. Adding to the complexity, a leaked internal document allegedly from China's Ministry of State Security mentions growing anxiety within the Communist Party's upper ranks. The document, which has not been verified by state sources, suggests that the leadership fears loss of public control due to economic pressures, distrust in institutions, and rising exposure to global narratives that contradict state propaganda. This multi-layered crisis comes at a time when China is attempting to project strength globally through its Belt and Road Initiative and expanding diplomatic outreach. However, with internal fractures deepening, analysts are warning that Beijing may be reaching a critical inflection point. Despite the wave of internal challenges, the Chinese government remains publicly optimistic. In a recent speech, President Xi Jinping stated, "China will overcome all challenges through unity, discipline, and innovation." However, critics argue that behind these carefully crafted speeches lies a state increasingly disconnected from the everyday struggles of its people. For now, the world is watching closely as cracks begin to show in what was once considered one of the most stable and fast-growing powers on the planet. From silent bank runs to ghost cities, censored protests to suppressed innovation, something is deeply wrong in China, and it's no longer easy to hide. This is a developing story. We will continue to update you as more verified information becomes available.